home could cost up to $1 million. You could build it on a hill, you know, and deep, and you, as much as you dumped, every time you dug, you would go and you dump it, you would go dig it, and you were digging far away from where your first home was, but at least build banks for a long time. Monster trenches. Keep building banks and trench in a monster trench, aquifers, aqueducts, and just lead it right out to water again, right? Like, keep splicing so it never overwhelms itself and it can just run to each farmer's field. It could have plentiful water forever, right? There's an opportunity for everyone to benefit for whatever's left, right? Like, it's gonna happen that we're gonna lose land mass because the water is coming, but I don't know how much. Or are we an ant farm built in a bathtub that can easily be flooded just by the flick of a switch? And they make it seem like it's melting ice, but time stands still for us, but for them it moves at a rapid pace. Could be very possible. It could also have already happened. They may be a time traveler who already saw that by the year 2050 or 2070 or 2080, the earth will be engulfed in water. It'll be a blue marble once again, right? And then they'll purify it, right? They would wash away everything. I don't know if you've ever washed something, but you use water, right? That purifies it. I'm not saying it's, well, there is a lot of toxins here, so how do you get rid of it? You use a solvent, right? So you take water's a solvent, and it pulls stuff into it. It leaches all the stuff. So all the oil that's on the top layer should be far underground. All the oil would come, all the water would come, wash, the water would rise, the oil would sit atop the water, and it would keep going up, right? And then once it was full, like a bathtub, then they could just come in and strain it, or just actually let nature run its course, and with hundreds of thousands of years, the sun would eventually deplete some of it, and then the rest they would use up again. They would take, maybe that's how they mine oil, is they skim it off the top of the earth, or not the top of the top of the earth's water, like the top of the ocean, or whatever you call an entire world submerged in water. That's why I never understood, like, what happens to water. I'll give you an example. Let's say a meteor, a glacier, some kind of like glacial meteor, if that's a thing, a monster one, something huge, broke off a frozen piece of a planet and landed, but it had more water on it in the form of ice than all the oceans combined, right? But it took 6,600 years to melt, right? Where does the excess water go? Like, does it flow off the planet? Like, so that question alone, if you think about how much water could the earth hold, that puzzles me. Because how does it stay? If we're in a circle and we're floating in outer space, how does water not like fall? Seriously. And there is no up or down. And people can't grasp this. If we are floating a marble in space, there is no up or down or right or wrong. That's where you're wrong and I'm right, is that there is no up or down. So this planet has gravity, but the planet, which is bullshit, the planet is a circle, but we have gravity. Like, we should try and recreate this. Like, it's impossible to create Earth in a small scale. You can't create an Earth on a small scale. It's not possible.
We're an ant farm.